In this video, we're going to talk about the political situation involving the immigration reform bill that President Biden sent this week to Capitol Hill. We're going to talk about where things stand right now with the immigration reform bill and what are the likelihood of this passing? What is the likelihood of it passing? And then I'm also going to share some really important new information about the reform bill that I got today. And so you're going to want to watch this video all the way until the end. And this is actually a live session. So for those of you who are on Facebook joining me live, welcome. It's good to see you. As folks are joining this session, go ahead and chime in, send some hearts, likes, and share this with other people. And then certainly comment below as well. Okay, for those of you who are new to me, I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York. Thank you so much for being on in this forum with me. And I see some familiar faces, and as usual, it is always a delight to see you guys. So let's talk about the immigration reform bill. So the political landscape is where are things right now with the immigration reform bill, the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 that I've been talking so much about this week, and others have been talking about it a lot. It is the hottest immigration topic today. And so as of today, it's Friday night. The legislation has not been formally introduced in the Senate yet. However, the senator that is taking the charge or the lead on this legislation is Senator Menendez out of New Jersey, a Democrat out of New Jersey, and he has this bill, and it's hundreds of pages long. And it includes the elements that we've been talking about this week, in addition to more things that I'm going to share with you in this session. So again, stick around all the way until the end. So Senator Menendez, yesterday he spoke, and I'm going to pull it up here. Yesterday he spoke just a little bit, and he posted a YouTube video as well, a 16-minute YouTube video that talked a little bit more about this bill. And so he did mention in his video that the bill has not been introduced yet. And in fact, it is not public yet. Okay, we don't have it yet. It's not out there. What we do have is still the summary that I went over with you guys this week. And we have his video talking a little bit more about the bill. Now, what are the prospects of this passing? Well, first of all, Senator Menendez himself indicated that it's going to be a herculean effort. He didn't say it's going to be an uphill battle, but what he did say is that it will be a herculean effort. Okay, it's not going to be easy to get this type of comprehensive immigration reform bill passed, despite the fact that the Senate is democratically controlled. And we're going to talk about the reason for that in a moment. So he said that it's a Herculean task, but at the same time, he believes that he is the Joshua. He is the Joshua. In other words, he is the one to get us to the promised land. And he's been trying for many years. He was part of different efforts over the years to bring about comprehensive immigration reform. And so he has picked up this task, and he's taken it very seriously. And he also said this, that if I thought that this was just a messaging bill that was going to go absolutely nowhere, then I wouldn't have lent my name to it. Having said that, yes, this will be tough. So he's not naive. He understands that this is going to be a hard effort, because when you're talking about a pathway to citizenship for 11 million people, that's not an easy thing to accomplish. Okay, so that's one thing. So he's taken this very seriously. He's the Joshua taking us to the promised land with immigration reform. And he's speaking with other senators, trying to rally their support around this proposal. And then you have some other Republicans who are also supportive of immigration reform. They've weighed in this week as well about the proposal. And so here's Mark Rubio, Republican out of Florida, who said, well, there are many issues I think we can work cooperatively with President-elect Biden. I don't know why it's President-elect Biden, but a blanket amnesty for people who are here unlawfully isn't going to be one of them, he said on Tuesday. Okay, so he said this statement before Biden was officially sworn in on Wednesday. Okay, so that's Rubio, who had also supported immigration reform and championed immigration reform in the past. So that's his position. He doesn't like a blanket amnesty, which is how they are framing it. And then we also have Senator Graham. Okay, Lindsey Graham, Republican out of South Carolina, who said, well, here's what I really think is going to happen with immigration reform. Okay. I think probably the space in a 50-50 Senate would be some kind of DACA deal, he said on Thursday. Comprehensive immigration is going to be a tough sell given this environment, but doing DACA, I think, is possible. So from Graham's perspective, he doesn't see something big and massive such as this one passing. He sees the smaller pieces, right? DACA, which is very significant, but he sees a possibility of codifying or making law or permanent DACA. Okay, so that's where Lindsey Graham is on this. And then we have Senator Durbin out of Illinois. Give me some hearts and thumbs up if you're like, oh, she knows some politics. I know these people. Yeah, right. Don't know them. But so he's out of Illinois. And so he is the Senate Majority Whip. OK, and he told reporters at the Capitol Hill on Thursday that he had reached out to a half a dozen Republicans on immigration, and they've been open to the discussion or the conversation. So Senator Durbin is making his rounds. He's trying to rally support for immigration reform. And so that's where things are with respect to some of these folks who are in leadership or who have been on the forefront of immigration reform in the past. Now, today on Instagram, on McBean Immigration Law, which you guys should follow if you're not following yet, I did post this little statement indicating what it will take for this to pass. And so, in fact, it's two ways that this can pass the Senate. The first way is on the screen before you. 50 Democrats are needed and 10 Republicans are needed, and that will give you a vote of 60 individuals who have agreed to pass this bill. The other way that this can work is this. You could have 50 Democrats plus Vice President Kamala Harris weighing in, and that would be a 51, and then 9 Republicans. And in fact, Senator Menendez, that's what he said in his YouTube video. That's what he is actually looking at. He's looking at having 51 votes on the Democratic side and then 9 on the Republican side. So that's the strategy that they're looking at currently. But if you read any article, most articles will say you need 50 Democrats and then 10 Republicans. And why is that? Okay, many of you are very smart. You know the answer, right? And that's because of the whole filibuster issue. Okay, if you have that 50-50 vote going on in the 50-50, you cannot have then Kamala Harris weigh in and then, okay, that's it. No, actually, filibuster can be raised to delay or stop a vote entirely. And so it's a rule that is very much part of the Senate process, unless they get rid of it somehow. But if filibuster does happen, you absolutely need to have 60 votes in order to overcome it. So that's why people are throwing around the 50 plus 10 number or the 51 plus 9 number. So that's where things stand currently. The bill has not been formally introduced. The Senate session, the 117th Congress, they're only it's only what day, I don't even know what day we're on here, but it's a very new Congress. And so I will be sure to let you guys know once the bill is formally introduced. and as it's making its way through the committee markup process. But let me share with you now some things that Senator Menendez said in his YouTube video. Everybody's into YouTube. Senator Menendez has his YouTube channel. He might be happy that I've even mentioned this. I'm driving traffic to his channel. But in any event, here's what he said in his YouTube video. And he was speaking before a group of business leaders. And he said that the reform bill will create a 6-year lawful prospective immigrant status, or LPI status. So it creates a 6-year temporary LPI status in which individuals will be able to work. So they will have work permission, or the EAD. They will be able to travel. So they will be able to get the travel document, advance parole. They will be able to join the military, he said in his video about the bill. And also they will not face deportation during this LPI status period of 6 years. Okay. Now, he also said that this lawful prospective immigrant status would also apply to spouses and children as well. So he said that once an individual registers and passes the background checks, then they would go into some sort of temporary protective status. That's what he said in his video. He also said after 5 years, as we've been talking about, the individual will be eligible to apply for the green card. He also mentioned that TPS, DACA, and farm workers are eligible for the green card right away as well under the legislation. And then he also said, and this is kind of new on my end, but he also said that spouses and children of green card holders would be considered immediate relatives. They would have the IR immediate relative status, like spouses and children of U.S. citizens. So green card holders, spouses, and children will also be considered immediate relatives. And as you guys know, immediate relatives are the highest priority in our immigration system, really. The other thing he said, and we've talked about this, is that after 3 years, all green card holders may apply for naturalization. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you that is kind of new with respect to the immigration reform bill, that he is taking on this mantle to take us to the promised land, he said. Those were his words, very strong words. Let's see if he can get us to the promised land with 9 Republicans to support this measure. And if they do not support this measure in this format, which is a massive format, then they're looking at scaling it down so that some smaller pieces of immigration reform can pass during this year. So, President Biden needs some short-term wins, okay, to show us that he is doing something. Okay, this is the kind of discussions they have behind the scenes. What is the fastest, quickest, short-term win, low-hanging fruit that we can go after? DACA. DACA, that's easy to do. We can make that we could add it to a stimulus bill or something like that, or a spending bill, and we can codify it and make it law, make it permanent. So let's start that way. Or other pieces they could also pull into this too, smaller pieces of this immigration reform bill. So let's I'm staying on this, obviously, to update you guys and keep you posted on things. On Monday night on Instagram, I will be doing my live, and this live will focus on the top questions that I'm receiving from you about the reform bill and the executive orders. So I'm pulling your questions from Instagram, from Facebook, and from my YouTube channel, and I will be going over some things that you've asked me about the immigration reform bill. So join me on Monday night on Instagram, McBean Immigration Law, for that live session. And then also, I do want to remind you guys that today, as a matter of fact, my mini course on how to prepare for your embassy visa interview is now available, and people have been grabbing it. It's only $37, And it's a terrific way for you to prepare, or your family to prepare and understand some of the security questions and other types of questions that your relative or you is likely to face when you go on an immigrant visa interview. And as I've also shared with you guys, that it is 9 lessons that comes along, that's part of this. Okay, so in any event, I'm going to jump off, and I'm going to, once I figure out how to get this off, I'm going to jump off and again ask your questions, and I'm going to pull your questions and answer some of them on Monday night live at 9 p.m. on Instagram. Guys, if anything else come up over the next day, I will be back before you, okay, to keep you guys posted. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notice of my videos each week. Guys, you've been awesome. Thank you so much. One final thing. If you're contacting McBean Law Office, we ask that only serious inquiries only. Contact us if you'd like to book a consultation to meet with me in our office to get help on your immigration case. We're happy to work with you and help you during this time. So contact the law office to book a consultation. We do not answer questions over the phone. Trust me, we are busy from morning until late into the night. So you've got to get your appointment on our calendar. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.